This is Drew with Boomer Music Company, your band and orchestra experts since 1976, and thepodcastingstore.com, the one-stop shop for all things podcasting and remote learning. This is your weekend update. Well, greetings and welcome to your weekend update. Spring is here officially on the calendar and in the weather. So if you haven't had a chance to go outside and enjoy it, please do. I mean, I know we've got a long summer ahead of us and all that, but after the winter that we had and the cold weather that we had recently, it's just awesome to be able to get out there and enjoy riding bikes and doing all the cool stuff that we do this time of year. So over on the Podcasting Store YouTube channel, I did a video about how to use Shotcut to create crossfades. And I use this in my View from the Road videos that I do each week as a way to kind of create interest. And so it's going from one camera to the next with a smooth transition, and then the audio track is staying consistent throughout that. And I think it's a very simple technique that when you get a couple of concepts down, it is really effective, and it helps create some interest from the viewer, as opposed to having just one monotone camera. Like, well, what I do with these videos, I try to mix it up and create some interest that way. So I did a demonstration showing kind of how I do that. So check out a clip from that video showing a very quick demo of how to do a crossfade using Shotcut. Participating and then make another cut here, because I'm trying to land the plane here. So, I was in, out, in, and just, again, maintaining the interest for the viewer as opposed to having just one static angle. I feel like it could be a really effective technique. So yeah, slice, get it out of the way, pull it up there, line it back up, and then get this the heck out of the way. And then once again, we'll look at the effect.
Is good enough. Let's just get into it, get doing the activity, get participating.
So watch that full video. I mean, I really kind of outline step by step the process that I use to keep all your clips organized and to make it as smooth as possible. So I urge you, give that a try if you're trying to create a little bit of interest in your videos. Then that leads nicely into the View from the Road video where I use that technique. And this week I titled it, "It's easier to keep up than catch up." And that's a reference to running. When you're running road races and you slow down, then catch up, slow down, catch up, it's way easier just to keep up. And that's a reference to repairs on school instruments. There's a lot of deferred maintenance that goes on. Budgets are stretched really thin, and I completely get that. But specifically, especially with supply chain disruptions being what they are, and I talk about that in this week's video as well, getting new stuff isn't really as much of an option as it has been in the past. And it's really crucial to have beginners with functioning equipment. And I talk about that in the video. So here's a clip from that where I explain that a little bit more.
But there's a seriousness to it, and the thing that we always want to keep in mind when we're getting instruments ready for beginners is they have to work perfectly. Beginners don't know how to compensate for an instrument that isn't quite right. They're just not at that level yet, and we don't want them to get frustrated at an instrument that isn't working properly and think that they're doing something wrong when they're not doing something wrong. So it's even more crucial than with someone that's more experienced to make sure that a repair is done fully, completely, the instrument functions exactly the way that it needs to, because we're talking about the foundation for someone learning how to make music. It's too important to get wrong.
So call back to the first video and notice the crossfade. But on the topic of the repair stuff as well, Don Stinson, who last year did one of our video sessions at the virtual CMEA conference about the virtual band director podcasting and using technology, he wrote a great blog post over at the Yamaha Educator Suite, and follow the link to get to that, talking about directors doing classroom repairs on instruments. And I thought he had a really great philosophy about it, about when is it time to just kind of abandon the project and call in the pros. And obviously, we have a repair shop at Boomer, but yeah, if you can do the repair simply as a director and get the instrument back in the kid's hands, that's always the goal. But if you start getting it over your head, it's time to call in the professionals. And if you don't know where to begin, thinking about that kind of stuff, check out Don's blog post over at the Yamaha Educator Suite. There's also a bunch of other cool stuff there too, recruitment tools and things like that. So there's a lot of good ideas over there, and they're available to educators. So check that out. And thank you, Don, for that blog post. I thought it was very insightful. And then this week's essay over the Podcasting Store, I titled that one, "How a School Bus Seat Took Me on a Lifelong Journey." And that was a reference to an assigned seat on the school bus that I had way back in the day. And that led me to playing trumpet. My seatmate was a trumpet player, and he showed me his horn, and from that moment I was hooked. And just I was kind of relating the story of all the different places that's taken me, across the country, around the world, working with big name people, small name people. It's been a fantastic journey, and when we're in the school tryout season as we are now, and kids are beginning their journey to making music, you never know where it's going to lead. And so I'm always trying to be so encouraging these kids, just go wherever it takes you because the results could be something really amazing and unexpected. So check out that essay over there for the full explanation as to what I'm talking about. I think it's a pretty good read. So that's your weekend update. As always, thank you so much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you at the store.
If you enjoyed the Weekend Update, do me a favor and follow us on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channels, or visit our websites. This is Drew with Boomer Music Company and thepodcastingstore.com. Thanks for listening.